Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Down in the Hole. My name's Jono.
And my name is Blaine. This is the hole.
That is the hole
You know-
that I'm not currently at right now, but I'm there in spirit.
You know what this is?
What's that?
That's my beer cooler. See that?
No, I can't.
Yeah, buddy. 1664. I had the cooler outside because we had a barbecue on the weekend, and I don't take the beer out of it because it stays cold for like 3 days.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, your image is like frozen on my end.
So that's been basically frozen solid for the past 3 days, so it tastes great. That's good beer too.
Thanks.
So yeah, we were here. We haven't. There's been there was a lapse. I think there's a couple weeks or something where there hasn't been a video go up on the channel. So it's no big deal. Like and subscribe. Do your YouTube thing. We don't care. Got a couple of.
You do you, gang.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on your tunage for the other movie review we did.
Man, I've got 3 different bands I have to perform in
I know.
one night.
I know.
Man,
that is a lot of work. I'm like, hey man, can I get that song? And you have to rehearse with all 3 of your bands, which are, by the way, they're 3 different genres of music.
Yeah.
You've got rock and roll, thrash, and doom metal.
Yeah, pretty dope.
And yeah, you're busy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the kids this week, so I'll get at it. I might be able to get at it tomorrow. So I had to go today and get the new tires put on my car.
Sick. So basically the next couple videos you're going to see from us are going to be movie reviews because guess what? Theaters have been reopened after COVID.
Oh, and let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The one we're about to talk about, it's why you go to the theater in the first place.
What was it? What was it called again?
Oh, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
Man.
So wait, before even seeing this, were you like hyped and knew it was going to be amazing or what?
I was hyped in a sense that like nostalgia wise, like I loved the first one. Like I thought it was great. Iconic soundtrack, Kenny Loggins, Steve Stevens of Billy Idol fame penning basically the rest of the score, which is fucking dope.
I didn't know that. That is dope.
Yeah. So like I was pumped in that sort of sense. Like it's cool. I didn't get a chance to see the original one when it was playing in theater, right? Like
Shelley did.
So jealous.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been. When did the original come out? What year?
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Like 88, 87.
But this one, like it blew away every expectation I had.
Yeah, I was the same because the original came out and I would have been too young to give a shit. So by the time I saw it, it was cool. But yeah. I wasn't goo goo gaga over this thing like a lot of people were. Like it's not like the be all end all movie for me, but it's a good, like Tom Cruise is like the summer action movie guy. And it's like the perfect description of how it should play out. This one, I'm like, oh yeah, Top Gun. It'll be a Top Gun movie. Like we all know what it's going to be. But motherfuck, man, I didn't. It was so much better than I went in thinking it's going to be pretty good. I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was really good. And like I tell you, when I like walking into it, I was not expecting to fucking cry in the movie theater.
Shelley was
over a goddamn Top Gun movie.
Yeah,
but Tom Cruise, man, like I don't know. For me, like I really get into the actors and actresses that like when they can convey their emotion to me and it hits me like in the same way, like he just, I don't know, to me anyway, like when I see Tom Cruise like genuinely hurt on screen,
yeah,
I'm like, motherfucker, I feel this in my soul right now. 1986, buddy.
Cool. We found the year 1986. So I would have been 6 years old. Shelley would have.
That's the year I was born.
Yeah. Oh, was it really? Wow. Okay. So I was born in 80. You were born in 86. Yeah. Shelley was born in 73. So she would have been a teenager. So she went to see it. Yeah. So she was born in 73. 4, 5, 6. Yeah. She would have been about 12 or 13. So that seems about right. And then she.
That would have been. It's prime time to
Yeah.
watch that,
So
man.
she loves that movie. Like she went through. Well, you were sitting beside her. She was.
I could tell she was. We were. I mean, we were both on the same page.
Yeah.
Like there were times where like I could like kind of hear her sniffling, and I like in my mind I'm thinking, Shelly, I got you. I'm crying too. It's all good. Like
Yeah.
right, like Rage beside me, and like she's feeling it. Like
it like, and I was more emotional for how tense the movie was. Like, okay,
oh, so
by the way, now we should probably mention shut this thing off because we're just going to probably end up talking spoilers. And you need to see this movie. You don't need to hear it from us. We're bullshit. Go watch this first. I promise you do not want to hear this stuff from us.
yeah. I guess it's a good thing at this point we haven't really spoiled
No,
anything, right?
no.
So
But we're going to get
yeah,
into it now.
spoiler warning. Here's your little window of time.
Yeah. Because emotionally, like that movie, like the way that they just wind up the tension, because the original movie, it was all about like the flight school. You know, some accidents happened and they had those couple of MiGs come in there they had to mess with. And that was basically the only real enemy threat. Where this thing had like a legitimate nuclear threat that was going to happen and they had to stop it. So like right away the tension is real. Like they need to go in and not die, you know,
Yeah.
and the mission that they were training for was like impossible, you know. And
Yeah,
like,
it's oh, uh, just the flight sequences alone.
yeah, the way they film it, is that what you mean?
Yeah, like oh my man, they were so well done.
Yeah, knowing Tom Cruise, everything in that movie was real. So I can't imagine the budget on this thing. The budget on this movie would have been hundreds of millions of dollars. Because jet fuel is not cheap. I would not believe.
No, for sure. Like I was fully expecting it to kind of fall apart going into the final act, but oh,
I think
man, oh
like
man,
I don't
it was
even
just
believe that last act. I don't even believe I was breathing.
yeah, my heart was pounding so freaking hard.
I was just like, oh, they're running. I said to Shelley too. I said it's the Death Star. They're running the trench, right? I said it's the Death Star run. They have to, and like they have to hit the thing, and they've got to blow up this. It doesn't have any. What was it? Uranium or plutonium or some kind of crazy shit they were going to use to make nuclear warheads. That product hadn't arrived yet, so they had to destroy the facility to slow down that process. And that was like the whole training process was like where they built this thing was impossible. It's inside this mountain cavern that they cannot bomb. It's too steep to hit it. But they said they can make that fly down in there, do an invert roll down into the valley, blow it up out the other side, bend your plane in half because there's so much G-force coming out of it, like 10 plus.
Oh yeah, but unlike A New Hope, it's not all about Maverick.
No, he wasn't even supposed to fly the mission.
No, and but instead of just there being one dramatic drop of a bomb, like there's two. So not only is your heart pound like they conveyed the tension so well. Like I find there's so many movies where you just kind of sit there going like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Not this one.
But like no, you're like right into it. Like I had my fingers crossed. Like I hope he makes it, and then you got the other plane that's got to go through there, and I'm like, oh my lord, I can't handle this right now.
And it's a thing where, like, we've seen this story before a million times, and how you tell it is what sets it apart from we've already seen it all already. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but guess what? Because how you tell that story, yeah, okay, it's been told a million times. We know that, okay, something's going to fuck up. Somebody's going to die. Somebody's not going to, like, something's going to happen. Somebody's going to almost die. Last second saves, all this kind of stuff. And you know it's going to happen. And it was all like, we were kind of talking about it yesterday after coming out of the movie, how it was all predictable, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because, excuse me, because you were still on the edge of your seat watching this thing. You know, like I know something's going to happen. Somebody's laser computer guiding system's going to fuck up. And then he's going to have to shoot a manual missile down there, and then like shooting manual at like however fast they're like 1,000 miles an hour, 500 mile an hour, whatever they're doing. That's impossible. Always going to hit it. You know?
To me, it's like it's the movie equivalent of The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 17.
Okay.
You know who's going to win.
Right.
But it's the fucking ride.
Yeah.
It's how you tell that story of the ride to get to that point, and holy shit, it was some great filmmaking.
And I don't know who has because they were flying the F-18s, the Top Gun guys, and I don't know who had the F-14s. That was the guys they were going after, and they didn't name.
That was the Russians, I think.
Was it the Russians? I don't know, because I'm thinking I was going to say I kind of like how they didn't just say it was. You know, it's the Slovaks. Oh, it's the Russians. They didn't say anything. They just kind of, I'm
just kind of guessing.
They didn't, you know, because of the way everything is right now, you don't want to like just poke at the Russians and do that sort of thing. They don't want to make it like a political movie. They're just going to say, hey, we've got some bad dudes. We've got some old planes and they're going to build nukes. So we got to stop them. So, yeah. And then, you know, seeing like Iceman being in there was great.
Yeah.
And they wrote his actual disease into the movie because he had the cancer thing and he couldn't talk. So like, that's like when he meets his wife, it came back, didn't it? And she's like, yeah, unfortunately it did. I'm like, oh shit, they wrote the cancer into it. And I guess they had to because he can't speak unless they somehow find a way to artificially do that.
And man, I'll tell you, when he has that scene with Rooster, like the first real time Rooster confronts him about like, hey, like, why did you fucking get me taken out of flight school type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they're talking about Wingman and losing Wingman, and like, it was a very like deep scene between Rooster and Maverick.
Yeah.
And then cut to the very next fucking scene, and like my heart dropped.
Yeah, I was like, oh, see, and I wasn't. I was like, why'd they have to do that? And then you explained that to him. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. The losing a wingman thing.
He just like he had this whole deep emotional conversation with Rooster, who to me, by the way, was like the unsung hero of the movie. Miles Teller was amazing in that movie.
He was great.
But yeah, it was just that whole conversation about Wingman and losing a wingman, and then like Maverick lost his.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my fucking heart sank, and oh my lord. And then like, I just, by the end of the movie.
Well, then even like I don't know. It's just so good. The way that they paced it all and edited it all together. And I love how everything's shot low to the ground too, because it makes those planes just look so much faster and crazier. And like, he's actually flying the thing most of the time, I think, because you can see him in the cockpit just throwing his body to the side to pull that plane through those corners. You know, like physically out of breath, manhandling that thing through that canyon. And I'm watching this movie, and sometimes there's no music. It's just the sounds of him in the cockpit.
Yeah, and it's just like
you're just fighting this fucking thing. I'm like, these guys are like really sweating for their art, man.
And that audio is so well done that just like that grabs you and like keeps your attention and keeps the movie flowing for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there was like at no point had I checked out of that movie.
No.
Like, I was from the very starting of the opening credits. I'm like, all right, it's like fucking 1980s again. Bring it on.
Yeah, and that supersonic thing that he was flying at the start. I don't know what plane that was. I'm not a plane guy.
And that was so cool.
And then he fucking wrecks it.
Man.
I'm like, how fast is he gonna
Tom Cruise?
How fast is he gonna go, bud? And then he destroys the fucking thing. I'm like, oh, there's $1 billion. No big deal.
Right.
Just crash that in the Atlantic. No big deal.
No big deal.
And he walks into that diner.
Oh,
Where am I? And the kid goes, Earth.
Earth.
But yeah, I don't know.
That's great.
I loved it. I liked it like so much more than I thought I was originally going to. I didn't think it was going to be that amazing. I'm like, it'll be good, and seeing it on IMAX is the way to do it. But holy shit, man! Everybody came out of that theater just smiling. It was like, wow.
Yeah, everybody had a good time. Everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
I would go see it again in a heartbeat.
Oh, the action scenes with when they're fighting the enemies, and and like Rooster runs out of flares, and he's got a missile on him. And
oh my god, that was so cool.
He banks and then Maverick flanks across him and rains flares down on him to take the missile, and then gets shot out of the fucking sky. And what the fuck? It's just emotion after emotion, like crazy shit. Another one too, I forgot. We're kind of going flip flopping all over the movie. We're not we didn't script this review at all. But
no, just speaking from the heart
just
here,
going for it. But even the initial launch when they're going to, like when they're going to start the mission, and they all get flung off the boat, and they're going in, and then he calls for the tomahawks. So all the arrows are up and they're going. That scene when they're just kind of like on their way in, and then you see the tomahawks all coming from behind them and just going over them. Like I love that shit. I'm like, oh man, that's so fucking cool, because they're like in front of like all these tomahawk missiles that are going to destroy the fucking airport.
Oh yeah,
and they just go sliding by in third gear. Dee 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 dee. It's like 50 fucking tomahawks, and I'm like, that's so fucking cool. They're underneath them, and they go their separate way, and then the tomahawks take care of the airfield, and then
there were so many times I looked over at Rachel and was like, this looks fucking amazing.
Oh, every shot, man. Like, just like I said, in the clouds, coming out of the clouds, the tomahawks going over like almost in slow-mo, slowly passing them all as they cruise in, and then it's go time. They hit the shore and they got to book it.
Yeah.
And one like team 2 is falling behind, but they're calling out the enemy, the surface-to-air missiles that are up on the cliff sides, and looking up through the cannon piece. We got 3 of them, 4 o'clock high, and I'm like, holy fuck, man! Like, they're right under these things.
Yeah, and it's just so tense.
Oh man, like I said, the tension's crazy, and they built that tension so well in the training sequence. Like in the first half of the movie, we're training for that mission.
Oh yeah, and we hadn't even seen anything yet, and we're already like, oh my lord!
Yeah, this is like an impossible. They're training for something, and they can't even hit their targets in training.
No.
And it's like, and then of course there's that scene where Maverick, you were supposed to train them. They're supposed to be there. They're not ready. You're fired. All right, fuck it. So then he leaves. And then the new guy comes in to train the kids that Maverick's been training. Beep, 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 beep. What's that? What? Why is there a plane out there? Where the fuck did that come from? I'm like, what do you think? Maverick's going to show you it can be done, you dummies.
That's Maverick's hold my beer moment.
It's right the whole, there. Yeah, you knew that was coming, but it was amazing. Like I said, everything was, it's funny how it was sort of a predictable movie.
Okay, but the one thing that I will say,
fun to watch. It's so fun to watch.
To me, one reason why I got as much enjoyment out of it as I did is knowing how much of that shit Tom Cruise does by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just knowing, like, what he put into that movie. It's the same thing like the Mission Impossible movies, which we saw a preview for.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Next summer, another Tom Cruise summer movie coming out.
Oh, I can't wait, buddy.
Yeah.
But like with this one, like I knew going into it that like he does his own fucking stunts. He flies the planes. He does the jumps. Like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's so authentic, and that's a big reason why like I bought in the whole way.
Yeah. And then you've got a solid, even if it is a simple storyline with all the points. Oh shit, he saved Rooster, but then he got shot down. Oh fuck. oh shit, the enemies are going to capture him. I'm like, no, they're not. Rooster's going to come back because he's been ordered to leave. Maverick just saved his life. Oh, last second, fucking Rooster saved his day. Now they both go down. Oh shit, did Rooster die just like his dad? Did he actually eject? Nope, there's the parachute coming down. I'm like, okay, so his canopy actually came off properly and he didn't die like his dad. His parachute actually got him to the ground.
When Maverick
and Hangman's on the boat going, let me at him, Captain. Put me in, Coach. No, fuck you, Hangman. So his moment's coming because he's the guy who wants to go help his friends, and the Admiral won't let him do it. I'm like, well, Hangman's coming eventually. We just got to wait for his moment, right?
Yeah.
But
so good. And the scene though, like when Maverick and Rooster find each other after they both go down.
That was funny.
And you're like, oh, wicked, a nice warm embrace. And fucking Maverick just takes him right out.
Yeah. What were you doing? I was saving your life. He goes, I saved your life. That's not how it works. What were you thinking? You told me not to think. Silence.
Like, son of a bitch.
He's like, yeah, you're right. I did. I told you not to think. All right. Yeah. How you doing? Nice to see you. Not bad. Yeah. Nice to see you.
It was it's just so well done. Yeah. Beginning to end.
Yeah, 100%.
Loved every second.
And then, of course, Hangman does get his moment with the last second save. And
okay, can we just talk for a second about how last fucking second that was?
I was thinking, yeah.
There was nothing. It was like it was like a wrestler kicking out at 2.9999999.
Yeah, I love how you relate everything to wrestling.
Well, that's honestly
it was what I said, man. I think we were talking about this yesterday too. I was like, that was like the last. One more millisecond, and they would have been done.
Yeah,
because it was. So they both go down, and then they run to the airfield that just got bombed by all the Tomahawks, and they're like, "Holy shit, they got F-14s!" And of course, Rooster's like, "Man, these planes are fucking old." And then, of course, Tom Cruise Maverick, he flew him in the first Top Gun movie in 1986. So he can fly it. And it's old, and it's obviously not as agile as these F-18s and whatnot. But, yeah, they get a lock on them. They got no ammo left. And then that guy actually releases the missile to take them down. As Hangman's missile goes through the jet and takes out the missile on the other side. The one missile goes through the jet and hits the missile that he just launched all in one shot. I'm like, well, that was about as last second save as you could possibly imagine.
And in terms of the referencing wrestling as often as I do, obviously, I mean, you know me.
Yep.
But that's where, like, understanding wrestling and how it's put together, because obviously it's choreographed and all that shit.
Yeah,
helped me understand when I was younger, like how and why movies and TV shows are put together in certain ways, and why certain story elements are here instead of here, and this is here because you want to bring out this emotion,
right?
And all that sort of shit. So it's just I reference that because that's what got me thinking outside of the box anyway.
Yeah, it's all about timing. And then, like you said, building up that next set piece.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay, well, and that's the thing, that whole third act, I didn't breathe. You're on the edge of your seat watching the whole thing because right when they hit the shoreline and they got to go, okay, there's the aircraft missiles on the cliffs. Okay, we got to take care of that. Oh, shit, Rooster's falling behind. Oh, fuck, now we got to do that pull with an invert to get into the valley. Boom, took out the shed, wicked. Well, Rooster's behind. Hopefully he's right there. Okay, hopefully he can do it. And then this fucking targeting computer. And it's like, goes down. He's got to hit it manually. I'm like, if he can't hit it manually, he's going to kamikaze himself and fucking kill himself. And then they got to get the hell out. That's what I mean. He had to catch up.
Yeah, so there was like that element
something
on top.
Like, oh, yeah, like, man.
You're already on your way to dealing with something that's already tense as shit. Now you're throwing like a bag of fucking wrenches in there and everything.
And then they have to drop, if they do hit their target at the bottom of that canyon, they have to get out of the fucking canyon, which puts them right in the range of all those aircraft missiles. Yeah. The SAMs, the surface air missiles, because they have to pull out so quick they can't stay below radar. Now they're in a dogfight with a bunch of I remember that wide shot they showed when they're like, "There's one on you," and I'm like, it just starts getting funny after a while because there's so many fucking missiles. But then they actually showed you that wide shot of the valley of missiles coming from every direction, and you just hear radio chatter that's just obnoxious and overlapped, and it's some fucking mess. And I just kind of started laughing. I'm like, yeah, because that's what they were doing. They were just stepping on each other. There's one behind you. There's one to your side. There's one coming from your 3 o'clock. Like they're just yelling. You can't. It's chaos. And they totally back out to that wide shot, and it just sits there, and the camera angle doesn't move, and you just see missiles everywhere, jets dodging every which way, and then you hear the radio communication, and it's 16 people just yelling. Nobody's listening. Oh, there's a beepy horn. But it was that was kind of funny, them showing that wide angle of the chaos. I'm like, yep, that's what we're in.
But at no point was it so chaotic that you would lose sense of what was going on.
No, and I think that's how they calmed it down with that one big still wide.
Yeah.
And you just kind of sit back and you look at all of it going down, and it gives the audience a break.
Yeah, it gives you some perspective.
And you go,
take a second.
Yeah, I need to take a break.
Back to the shit again.
Yeah. But yeah, fantastic movie. I even texted my buddy at FedEx there, Corey, because he's a big, huge, gigantic movie guy. And I knew he'd seen it. And he said the same thing. He's like, man, I did not expect that movie to be as good as it was.
No.
I said, me neither. Because I could almost care, I almost care less about Top Gun. I'm like, why are they making a sequel? But it'll be fucking cool because it'll be an IMAX. It's real planes. And I want to see what Tom Cruise is doing.
And it was almost like this amount of time needed to pass between then and now because we had to wait for Rooster to grow up.
That was a good call too, yeah, because the original movie being made so long ago, sometimes they put out sequels so quick. They've allowed that movie to actually be viewed by generations of people.
Yeah.
Like Shelley's dad would have taken her to see the movie. And then it's like, well, then he would have liked the movie and so would she. And then she would have showed it to her daughters. Like Dre's seen the movie. And then her granddaughter's seen the movie. And then you can all go now to see the sequel. And you all know what's going on. It's been marinating for 30 years in pulp culture. And you hit a home run with a script. And you use some familiar faces. And you put an actual battle on the line. I mean, they actually have an actual mission that, is probably going to be impossible. And it's just, all of it comes together in such a perfect package. I don't have any complaints. You did have one complaint, though. They didn't play Danger Zone at the end.
Yeah, that was my only gripe.
Yeah.
We only got it at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I was still floored. I mean, I knew we were going to hear it. But
there's one really thing that's bothering me about this film. If they didn't use that song twice.
Well, we got it in the first Top Gun. It was it bookended the movie. That was the cool thing about Danger Zone. It literally bookended the movie.
Maybe there'll be a director's cut. We can always take it and chop it up and do it.
I will buy 8 copies of the 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. Seeing it in the IMAX, the aspect ratio, because we're going to get nerdy on you now here down the hole, the aspect ratio which they film on for that IMAX film, it fills that screen from top to bottom, from floor to ceiling. You don't have those black bars on the top or on the side. It fills that entire 16:10 aspect ratio. It's a massive movie, and it needs to be vertically massive when they film it. And
to take the nerdiness off you for a second there.
Yes, please.
You need to experience this movie in a theater.
You do.
If it's, as long as it's playing, if you haven't seen it, go and see it. This is this is why you go to the movies in the first place. This is exactly, when we walked out of that theater, I was like, that's exactly what I expect out of a night at the movies.
Yeah, they built those buildings for Top Gun, for Tom Cruise movies, and Jurassic Park. You got Steven Spielberg, you got these guys that just know how to make films that will entertain people. on a massive screen with gigantic sound. You might have a good sound system at your home, but I guarantee you don't have a screen that's 100 feet high.
No.
You can't get that. And even at the drive-in, you can't get that because then the sound isn't there.
No, absolutely. And you're relegated, to your car audio system, which most people don't have good ones.
Yeah, it's one or the other, right? And then like the picture quality and everything else, you're just like, you go to a legit theater and this is the reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And next June, are we going to go see Mission Impossible? Of course we are.
Oh, hell yeah. I've loved them all. Fallout, the last one, was absolutely incredible.
They keep getting,
sure, I'll check it out.
Yeah, they keep getting better.
Yeah.
Like, the first two, I love them. They were so good. And then the third one, I didn't really get it. It probably just came out in a time of my life where I just wasn't paying attention. But
it really had to do with his wife.
Yeah, like Ghost Protocol. Fallout was the other one. What's this new one called? Redemption Shift, or I can't.
Dead Reckoning, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, it sounded like a video game. Death Reckoning.
It looks like it would be a fun video game too.
Dark Reckoning. It had like a video game name. Like, I don't care what it is. They still got Ving Rhames in there. Let's go.
Yeah, and they had what's his face from the first one.
Yeah, I wanted to say Treadstone, but that was a woman.
Yeah, like
Kittredge.
Kittredge,
yeah,
or something like that.
Kittredge. Yeah, right when I said, I was like, yeah, it's Kittredge. I'm like, right when I see him in the trailer, I'm like, oh Jesus, we've got.
Hold on, I'm about to get real legit on you here. I'm gonna find it. Yeah, Kittredge. Yeah. But yeah, it was like, no way. All right, old school. Like, I'm going way back. Because that's the thing I liked about Mission Impossible Fallout, was that there were a lot of references I found to like Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah, like I'm wondering too, because in every movie, I wonder, they always get you every fucking time in those Mission Impossible movies. And again, it's the same movie over and over again, just like fucking Top Gun.
Yeah. All right.
They do the mask. He always pulls a fucking mask off, and they get me every fucking time. I'm like, God damn it! I can never see it coming. So that'll be fun.
All right, buddy. I've got to go and find out the injury status on one of my boys here.
Boom! There you go. So
any final digs on Top Gun?
I think Top Gun Maverick was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I think it's phenomenal, and I think you should see it in the theater, because that's why there's theaters, and that's why they held on to this movie for 2 or 3 years because of COVID. He wasn't going to put it out on a streaming thing.
No, I don't blame him.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
Worth the wait.
Go see it, folks. It was amazing.
Yes. Down in the Hole gives it 2 thumbs up. So do your thing. Thanks for watching. That's Jono. I'm Blaine, and you're you. And we'll see you next time with another review. How did I manage to rhyme that whole thing?
Attaboy.
Didn't even rehearse it. Thanks, buddy. Have a good night.